All right. So we got official news a couple weeks ago. Alex Mack retired from the Niners. They're preparing already in camp without him. He was really good for us. He knew Shanahan, knew the system, really helped Jimmy G run that offense. How we feeling about our line moving into the season, going into camp?
I mean, there was a lot of question marks even before Alex Mack. But I think we all kind of knew this is the way it was trending, especially like when they asked Kyle during voluntary, like, hey, is Alex Mack going to be back? And he was like, hey, if he ain't here, like, he's not, like, kind of alluding that he wasn't going to like be there. He was out vacationing, and it's probably not going to be, not a good sign. And two, to be undecided like this deep into the offseason. I mean, we've seen it with Joe Staley, like where he was, he waited and then they made this, the trade. But I just think Alex Mack was just legitimately like, hey, should I or should I not? Like, it is a tough decision. And I salute him for, bowing out on his own terms. Like, good for him. He had a really good career. And yeah, like, it's just a little, again, uneasy, but making the switch from Jimmy to Trey, I think we can have a little bit of question marks. Not too many question marks, but just because Trey's not going to be a statue back there. He's going to be able to roll out and make things happen. So we'll see. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Hey, what's up? This is D. Sorry to interrupt. I know we're digging into some really juicy content here, but just wanted to say, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It all really helps us out to push content to other 49er fans. So when you have a chance, go ahead and do that. Now back to the show.
I feel okay about it. I mean, obviously, I would like him to play another year because he's solid. But if he's not going to since he wasn't coming back, I like that he didn't come into camp and then decide, or we just knew from the get-go, because now Trey gets to work with who's going to be a center for the full season way sooner than if Mac was there and retired. So Brendel has been there. I think we've seen some pictures of him and Trey Lance at some event. They're getting close. So I'm not too worried about it. We'll see. This guy's been in the system for a full season now. He's been like the heir apparent to Mac. I think if Shanahan feels comfortable enough to not make any moves in the offseason for a center, then I think we should feel okay that this guy's going to be good enough to hold it down. And just for the line as a whole, like, we knew for sure that there was going to be question marks, like McGlinchey's health, Aaron Banks taking over for Laken Tomlinson. We got to see if he's going to be a starter this year, which people were complaining last year that he wasn't even on the field.
Didn't see the field.
He wasn't even on the active roster for most of the season, right? Or the whole season.
Yep.
And then we still have our big left tackle Trent. He's still dealing with his little injuries here and there. I think he's mostly trying to, one sec, let me exit out of this. I think he's mostly trying to not go into camp as long as possible to kind of rest his body, which is fine. At the right guard spot, I'm really comfortable with Brunskill there. I think I would have felt a lot better about this line if Aaron Donald retired, but I think we have enough to get by, especially with Trey Lance being more mobile than Jimmy.
Yeah, and I mean, look at who we drafted, and even the undrafted rookies. There's a lot of athleticism on that, like in that group. So I'm sure a couple of those guys could, if need be, make an impact. So I think we'll see. I mean, look at even Brunskill. Brunskill was one of those guys who everyone was really unsure about, but ended up being really, really solid. And I think in the draft, as long, like, any of these guys can make an impact on the line. All of them are big. All of them are athletic. It's just about the coaching and if Kyle actually feels like they're going to make a difference. And so I'm comfortable. Like they took a lot of shots. One of these guys has to be a home run. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think for me, I would have liked to improve the McGlinchey spot, but we were locked into him no matter what because of his contract. So now we know that's gonna be okay. Hopefully he can pass block a little bit better this season. The biggest question mark to me is Aaron Banks. Like, why did this guy not see the field for a full season when we drafted in the second round? And did we make the right decision in not drafting anyone this year and saying like who we have is better than anyone we would get? So if he can be just like a solid starter, I mean, look at Laken Tomlinson. When we got him, we just like slowly built him up better and better until he got like paid too much for us. And I don't think he was like so amazing to get like highest paid contract level, but he was just so solid for us for so long that he earned it. If Aaron Banks can do the same and just be solid every year, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, and it was just him, I think, switching to the system that he wasn't necessarily a fit in at that time. He was a more like heavy power guy, and Kyle likes to pull guards. He likes to pull tackles. He'll pull a center every once in a while. He's wild like that. And so I think just making the adjustments and shaping his body even, I think he got slimmer. So he can be more athletic on the line. So we'll see. I mean, he was a second round pick for a reason, So
Yeah.
got to be helpful.
I mean, he has to play at least as a second round pick. I'd like to see him play a full year. And I mean, if he can hold it down for a year, we got our money's worth,
Yep.
Hey guys, Drew here. We really appreciate you guys sticking to the end of the video. I know this guy's happy. If you guys like what you saw, like what you heard, go ahead and watch some more videos here to get more 49ers news and updates. And go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. We appreciate it so much. Thanks you guys for spending time with us.